Yes, you guessed it, TikTok.
Why is it so cool? Because a lot of people don't get why TikTok is so cool. Well, first of all, it's not owned, at least currently, it's not owned by an American oligarch. And as we've seen during the pandemic, and now continuing on from that time onwards, we've noticed that if we connect up on platforms that are not based in the US, you can have much better freedom of speech than you can if you use any American owned platform. So that's number one. And that doesn't mean that the platforms that are made in other countries, such as China, Europe, and other places, Africa, whatever, India, are better. It just means that as an American, you can be freer with your speech on their platforms than you can on the ones that are based on US soil. And the same is true for the Chinese. The Chinese can be free in the way that they speak on American platforms, but they can't be as free with their speech on their own platform, especially when it comes to speaking about their government, right? If a Chinese person, right, talks about whatever they want about their leaders and their administration on their platform, they could get punished. So they'd much rather use a VPN, get onto Facebook, whatever, and talk about it in code, probably. But anyway, that's only one of the things. And look at this: when somebody does a good thing, you take the win. Just like the UFO community with what's his name? Is it Jake Barber or something that came out? And he showed us an Easter egg. Take the Easter egg. Take the win. Anyway, so it says, welcome back. Thanks for your patient support. As a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the US. You can continue to create, share, and discover all things you love on TikTok. Continue. Anyway, that is what showed up earlier. So what I'm going to show you right now is one of the cool things. Here comes shut up, Mark. And shut up. Anyway, when you press the right button over there, you get all of these cool options. So basically, the cool thing, at least for me, I know that there's plenty of other people that use TikTok for other reasons, but the best thing about TikTok for me is that it is an amazing tool. It's like having After Effects or Premiere at a touch of a finger and with you wherever you go. You don't have to have your $4,000 computer with the top graphics cards from and the best, like Radeon. The Radeon graphics cards are by far the top. The top. You don't get any better than the Radeon graphics card. Nvidia sucks compared to the Radeon graphics card, but they never get any. How do you say? They never get any commercials or anything. But Radeon graphics cards are absolutely the top of the line. They just don't get any support at all. Nvidia is always in the news, but they suck. Just like Intel Pentium is always in the news, but they suck compared to AMD. But anyway, that's a whole thing of its own. But anyway, look at this. Look at all the options you have here. It is like having Premiere and After Effects at a touch of a button. There's all kinds of cool effects. Look at this. You can have all kinds of effects. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And it's intuitive and easy to use, even for those people who do not really understand how to do the cool stuff. And look at this, captions. I can press a button. And mind you, it may not be perfect. You may have to go through it and stuff. I never do. So if you ever see swear words in my videos, if you ever see anything funky in my swear words, it's because I just used the automatic setting. I do this, I press one button, it says clear speech, blah, 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 improves the accuracy and blah, 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 which, my speech is not the clearest that you're going to have out there. But anyway, it's all done. A whole 10-minute video in just a few seconds now. And then you can press this button here as a styles, and you can have live emojis. All right, look at that. Live emojis. You can now have live emojis, and then you can slide up with your little fingers and put anywhere you want. You gotta compress it a little bit, otherwise the text may be too large for the thing. But that's okay. That's okay. You can also go in and split and delete bits of pieces of the video that you didn't like. This thing basically is amazing. On top of that, you have audio things. Let's say you're somebody who doesn't like the sound of their own voice. Well, not only can you do a regular voiceover, once you've done your own voiceover, you can use this thing that we talked about before, the captions. And then on top of that, you could do an add sound. So you can add sound, or you can use a sound effect, or you can actually get, and then I don't always remember how to do this very well. I think maybe it's in here. There's an option here, I believe. It says voice effect. You can get someone else's voice to take over your voice if you don't like your own voice. And you can get it to be like, like Dragon Ball Z, Wukong, or whatever. You could have it with a Superman or Superwoman's voice, or a demure voice, which is really cool. I think there's even one, I can't remember, you could be a vampire, you could be a mentor. Look at all these options. Can Troth Central do that for you? In the United States, can Troth Central do this? No, they can't. No, they can't. So this is why TikTok is so cool. It just is. It just is. There's so many adjustments that you can do. There's filters that you can put in. It just, an everything app. And again, as I said before, it's like having Premiere Pro or After Effects and Photoshop all combined in one app that you can bring anywhere in the world. Like you would be at the beach and do this without having to lug around a $4,000 computer with Intel chips and NVIDIA, which is not kosher because they're responsible for the annexation of Gaza. So yeah, that's why. That's why. That's why people like TikTok. At least, if you are an ex-artist, if you're an ex-artist, that's why you like TikTok. And actually, this is actually something that works great for anybody. If you're a real video editor and you want the power of Premiere, After Effects, and Photoshop all combined in one thing, including large language model AI options, like, as I said before, if you don't like the sound of your own voice, you can have someone else, a robot, take over the speech so that you don't sound funky or whatever, a speech impediment. It takes care of all of that for you, including text. Look at that, text. So yeah, that's why people like TikTok. Do you think TikTok can be replaced by Troth Central or Facebook or Instagram or Blue Sky or whatever else? No, it can't. It can't. And on top of that, you don't have to worry about what you're going to say is going to be corrupted by some oligarch in the United States, by an American platform like YouTube. Anyway, now you know why it is so cool. So just because you didn't get it before,